I want to welcome you members of the press for this press briefing. My name is MUWADA NKUNYINGI. I'm a member of Parliament for Chadondo County East, and I'm addressing you today as the Shadow Minister for Foreign Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, and the country at large, the public and international media has, for the past several weeks, interfaced with the situation as reported by international media in the Middle East, the security situation resulting from the tensions between the Republic of Israel and Iran, and equally the voices from the several countries of the world, and as well the several preliminary engagements at the United Nations as a front. As reported widely by international media, the security situation in the Middle East remains tense amidst the ongoing tensions between Iran and Israel. As the opposition and as an alternative government for Uganda, we are concerned, and we want to urge, and we urge indeed, all sides of the conflict to explore diplomatic options to avoid further escalation of the conflict. We want to call upon the United Nations to urgently mediate and navigate options for a diplomatic and peaceful solution. It is our wish for us all to agitate and to advocate for a peaceful world. Uganda citizens living in the Middle East, Uganda diplomats working or deployed in the Middle East, and Ugandans within Uganda who are intending to travel to the region should take precaution. We want to advise our Uganda diaspora community in the Middle East, the Uganda diplomats, and all Ugandans who are intending to travel, and all those intending to travel from or through Uganda to the Middle East, more so to these tension-ridden areas, to take precaution. And we want to advise them to regularly follow the security guidance as issued by those several host countries. I want to put on record that Uganda has a number of missions in the Middle East. We have a permanent mission in the Republic of Iran, in Tehran, and this permanent mission, this mission of Uganda in Tehran covers several countries under it. But we are aware that due to the poor coordination of our foreign policy, this crisis has found Uganda without a substantive ambassador to Iran. We cannot ascertain whether our embassy is fully operational, but at least we are so sure that they have not yet released any travel or security advice to our nationals. Ambassador Tezikuba, is it Tezikuba? The ambassador of Uganda who died from Tehran, and his body was repatriated back to Uganda. As we speak, we don't have a full ambassador, and we have not had any voice from our ambassador in that region, meaning Ugandans are more likely not to receive travel advice. And we have not had even from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Whereas our mission in Iran covers several countries. Most of these countries are hosting a number of Ugandan nationals. The mission in Tehran covers Afghanistan as a country of accreditation, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Palestine, and Tajikistan. That is our mission in Iran. So meaning Ugandans in all these countries have not received any security advice or precaution from our mission. Partly, the ambassador died and there was no substantive replacement. Secondly, the poor coordination of our foreign policy. We don't have a substantive mission in Israel, but Uganda has a number of missions in various countries. For example, our mission in Riyadh, that is Saudi Arabia, is also covering Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, and Yemen, and it also represents us at the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. The Uganda mission in Malaysia, that is Kuala Lumpur, represents us in Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, and Vietnam. Then our mission in Russia represents Uganda in Belarus, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Moldova, Mongolia, Uzbekistan, and Ukraine. And then we have a mission in Abu Dhabi representing us in the United Arab Emirates. We have a mission, and then we have a permanent mission for the Republic of Uganda in New York, representing us in the United Nations. I have not had a single word, either guidance, and I have not had in the recent months or years any word is spoken by Uganda's permanent representative to the UN. We only hear his name when he's being appointed from one mission and one delegation to another. Ambassador Adonia. Recently we had him being appointed even for NAM, but we don't hear him speak or even comment on matters of international diplomacy. So most of Uganda's diplomats, they only go to earn money, get salary, and then return home at the end of their service. We want to urge our missions to understand the role of diplomacy. At a time like this, when the world is faced with multiple challenges, we expect our diplomatic representation to be active and at minimum issue and advise Ugandans. We want to task the Uganda government and the Minister of Foreign Affairs to initiate standby measures of repatriating Ugandans who may be trapped by the insecurity in case these tensions escalate. Whereas we are calling upon the United Nations to mediate and consider diplomatic solutions, and as well urging all parties to the conflict or this tension, we are also left to the fact that it is unpredictable. We have seen other countries of the world advising their embassies not to open for a while, advising their diplomats to take shelter and to be cautious. We have not had the Uganda Minister of Foreign Affairs, we have not had the Uganda government advising our diplomats, we have not even had our diplomats advising Uganda nationals in these regions. You know, we have thousands of Ugandans who are in Iran for different reasons, some for study, some for education. Thousands of Uganda nationals who are in Israel. Thousands of Uganda nationals who are in Jordan, Oman, Kuwait, and all these other countries. We have not had any travel advice or any security advice given to our nationals. I also want to put on record that none of our embassies or consulates has bunkers. I wouldn't advise Uganda nationals to run to the embassy or any embassy of Uganda. They are not security proof or they are not proof. There's no proof to shield them from any attack. And part of the realities of the conflict, we have had a number, we have had and we hear that many times embassies are a target. Equally, in terms of the international diplomatic protocols and arrangement, you are also aware that embassies are normally in one administrative location designated by a host country. When you hear other countries advising their diplomats not to open or not to take shelter in embassies, equally a Uganda embassy wouldn't be so far from such an area. So if an area is so insecure, we need to be alive to the fact that our embassies have no bunkers. They have there's nowhere to run, at least from the knowledge and from the record of the ministerial policy and the records of our embassies. So we would advise even our diplomats to remain indoor amid these tensions. We would advise them to utilize alternative means of doing their work, minus being physically present in such insecure locations, especially embassy locations. But again, we want to re-echo that Uganda nationals must heed and must listen to the security advice issued by a number of those host countries. When they say, please run to this area, run to these bunkers, we want to advise Uganda nationals to do the same and to follow suit. Don't wait for an announcement in Uganda. If the host country is using French, try to look for interpreters and get that advice in time. If they are using English or Arabic, please heed to such advice. But at least from the reports of international media, the tensions in the Middle East are still on, and they are unpredictable. But at least we have seen other nationals and other countries advising their nationals and diplomats. And in line with our alternative diplomacy, we shall keep the Uganda public informed as we monitor the global and regional developments. But before I end the statement, I've also received the concerns from a number of international travelers from Uganda and the international community, including the diplomatic community, and a number of our Uganda nationals, that a while ago at Entebbe International Airport, and I want to also put on record that the Minister of Foreign Affairs coordinates and is in charge of the VIP section of the airport. Needless to say that the VIP section is connected to the wider airport, Entebbe Airport. The recent rains caused the flooding at the airport. What is appalling, travelers have come to me complaining that the floods were actually not rainwater only, that there was a mixture of the flood and the sewage. It has come to our attention that Entebbe Airport, wherever it rains, the rainwater mixes with the sewage and it floods. Now, people's suitcases and dresses went dirty and smelling of sewage from Entebbe Airport. There is a very, very big problem that was occasioned probably by the construction, joining rainwater drainage with the sewage, and the flooding was of sewage. Now, travelers are complaining that their suitcases went smelling sewage. I intend to petition and bring this matter to the attention of Parliament as soon as I secure space on the floor of Parliament, and petition, because our entry point as a country and in foreign relation is the Entebbe Airport as an international airport. Now, when international travelers and those exiting through Entebbe are complaining of sewage, it is a crisis. It's a crisis, and there's a lot of presumption whether actually these people went safely. But I want to put on record, I want to raise the same matter as soon as I get space on the floor of Parliament. I want to petition. It is sad, and I want to extend our sympathies to the Ugandan nationals and international travelers who ended up being engulfed by sewage at Entebbe International Airport. It is a shame for this country. It is a shame for Entebbe Airport. And I want to task the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Government to come and give a conclusive explanation and a substantive explanation. We can't have a country where international travel is sabotaged at instance of probably corruption and corrupt tendencies. How can you construct and connect drainage to sewage, drainage to sewage, to the extent of flooding an airport with the sewage? This has not come out yet, but at least I've received testimonies, and I want to put it on record anytime I'm petitioning Parliament over the same matter. I thank you.